Hey everybody, this is Michelle.
And this is Julie.
Welcome to A Blonde, a Brunette, and a Mic podcast. What is our podcast all about, you ask?
Well, we're two 50-something women with life experience and, plenty to say.
Which is exactly what we're going to do right now. I have to say, as we get started here, that I do miss doing episodes with you when I'm gone. I know a while back you did an episode on your own, and you're really good at that. I don't think I could do that, quite honestly.
It goes actually pretty fast. I mean, surprisingly enough, because there's nobody talking to me.
That's why I don't think I could do it.
Well, so I just like...
You were like you did like a TED Talk kind of a thing. Especially it was a very kind of serious topic, mm-hmm. and a somber topic also.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the tone of your voice in, as you were moving through that episode, the impact of the circumstances that had gone on and how it affected you and caused you to kind of pause and mm-hmm. really reflect about the importance of time and life and the things we do and the people that, impact us and different things like that. It was really good. If anybody listening, if you haven't listened to it, it was, just a couple episodes ago, you should check it out. But
short and sweet. Yeah, it was short but sweet. And yeah. But it's funny, Michelle, we are all in that place in our lives where we're starting to go through, if we allow those things to have an impact on our heart, right? Our mind, whatever, our life, then we may be able to learn something from it. That's what I got from all of that. And it wasn't so much this gentleman. I mean, obviously he was in my life a long time ago. It's really the kind of things that he represented to me. Mm-hmm. And then you start really taking that and expanding upon it and going, gosh, it's like, it's so final. It's just this finality to it. And there's so many things about what was happening with him that obviously it's not my place to share or anything, but just the family and people that are left behind. And those are things that are going to be happening to us. It's not like we have people that are dying every day,
right?
But there are people that are impactful in our life. And I think the one thing that I really understood, and this might have been a conversation that you and I had a long time ago offline. I remember talking about seasons, and I did bring that up, but it's like there are people who like will be in your life forever.
Yes.
Right? They're there for all seasons, but there's some who aren't, or you are in someone else's life for a season and there's a reason. Now that can be a very philosophical thing to say, and it can be kind of a woo-woo-y thing to say, but really kind of makes sense to me because we never knew each other in high school. We never knew each other after high school, yet this guy and his wife were the most impactful people to us in the most horrific time in our lives. So of course those are things you're gonna remember,
Sure.
But anyway, it just gets you thinking about not wasting your time, not wasting your breath. And I've found, like this past week, like I was with a friend, went to Mariners game the other day, and I'm giving him a big hug when we're leaving. I'm going, love you. And I'm just like, oh God, he hopefully doesn't think I mean that romantically. But he said, I love you too. I mean, It's like, we're friends.
Life's too short, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And, I like how you said, allow the circumstances to have an impact.
Yeah.
Think about that phrase. And I think that is really, really just speaks for itself. Allow the circumstances to have an impact. So, anyways, I just want to thank you for that episode. It was really good.
So now we got to get the blonde out there to do her little
that's not going to happen.
TED Talk. I bet you she has a lot to say.
I mean, I probably could carry on about a few things.
Yeah. And maybe I'll have her do the episode on conspiracy theories on her own.
Maybe
because
that
I'll be sitting over here smiling too much and make her laugh
to do on my own.
Yeah. Well, but Michelle had a great idea for a topic that we are going to chat on a little bit today.
This this came up recently when I was doing the stairs with Steph. And she was telling me that she had seen this show that Oprah did. It was like an interview type show, which all of hers, I guess, kind of are like that.
Yeah.
It was a special. And it's called AI and the Future of Us. So she was telling me about it, and I was very intrigued because I'm not too crazy about AI. I can't say that I've used AI to come up with any kind of anything in an email or anything like that. We have uses for it at work that people do use it on a daily basis, but I don't have to, and I haven't had to. So I really don't have any experience really with AI.
You're just seeing it kind of swirling around you.
I've been seeing it swirl around. I've been hearing the things. I've been seeing different things, and it's very interesting and kind of scary to me, quite honestly, which is probably why I really haven't felt the need to utilize it.
Well, Oprah, so when she did this special, she did it for this exact reason, because she was talking about, I've been on this earth 7 decades.
Yeah.
Hopefully not 70 decades. And, obviously she is involved and exposed to so many different things, technology driven people,
right,
that are experts in those fields, that sort of thing. And this was kind of a mystery to her too.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the questions that she was asking are super fundamental, but in a really good way, because honestly, I wouldn't have been able to probably grasp some of the things they were talking about unless they had really, I don't want to say dumbed it down, but taken it to a really fundamental level so you could really get a grasp on what was happening. Because I don't know about you, Michelle, but I listened to this, I watched this episode, and my jaw was kind of dropping by the end.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to really get all really upset about that kind of thing,
freaked out. Yeah.
I'm kind of like maybe more busy that day. I don't want to know sometimes.
Right.
But you bring it up, and Michelle brings up stuff all the time and reminds me and sends me like TikTok videos to remind me about different things, like food, and the ramifications of this type of technology are so vast. It's hard to even wrap your brain around it. Yeah.
So it intrigued me. I came home and watched it. I told Jules about it. She watched it. So we both watched the episode, this special AI and the Future of Us, and it's on Hulu for those of you that if you're interested, you should go watch it. But I really liked how they had a lot of different aspects of AI. They had the creator of ChatGPT that she talked to, and his name was Sam Altman, creator of ChatGPT. And then they just had a myriad of guests that have impacted this
or even impacted technology, like they had Bill Gates.
Yes, Bill Gates was on here. Yeah. So what did you find the most fascinating?
I think the deep fake stuff that they had spoken about, and they showed examples of different things that were kind of mind-blowing to me. Like one of them was, some political ads that were put together or were out there. And I want to say they were political ads maybe that were coming from another country that were getting embedded into maybe our social media or something. But it was Donald Trump and Kamala hugging, which we all know that's probably not happening, right?
Yeah.
But it really got me thinking, because a lot of the things that are happening out in the world, political or otherwise, people claim, I didn't do that. That didn't happen. Da 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 da. People going to jail for different things, or you see a lot of stuff I'm talking about might be more like social media or the news cycle. And so you wonder, it's like the news cycle itself, is it flooded with this kind of stuff? And how do you even know?
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of blew my mind, is like, there are so many things that appear to be legitimate that aren't.
Well, and another one of the guests was Marquez Brownlee, who is a YouTuber. He's a tech expert on YouTube. He has 20 million subscribers, right?
Yeah.
So he was talking...
Did you leave out the part about how he's really handsome? He's like really, really handsome. Okay, just side note.
Side note, he's really handsome. But and with regard to what you're just pointing out, he was saying right now there's no rules for the people making these tools.
They're kind of creating things as they go.
And I think the main message I got that was an underlying common denominator is the fast pace in which this is happening. Mm-hmm. And it really can't compare when you look at how, social networking came out and how it unfolded, and it really wasn't that fast. Really?
Well, I think we think that they're fast, but they've probably been happening behind the scenes and we just didn't know, with some of them. But when you think about computers, for example, or the internet, like I remember when the internet came out and I was just trying to grasp, what is it, you know? And I had someone explain it to me, like literally with a picture of the internet and how like the different tools you use to get to the internet and all that kind of stuff. Well, all of those things were developed without any rules.
Yeah.
And one of the gentlemen who was on this special, I don't recall which one, but he was talking about things that we all would know, like cars, for example. Cars were invented back in the day, in the 20s or something, 30s, 40s, I don't know. It was invented a long time ago.
Yeah.
But do you think that they had driver's licenses, or did they have stop signs, or did they have rules on...
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have any of that stuff.
So Tristan Harris was the gentleman's name referred to, he actually referred back to this. And Tristan Harris, he's the co-founder for the Center for Humane Technology. So he's an advocate for people and how these things are being rolled out and regulations and different things like that. So he pointed out the fact that, yes, things like this develop and move on into the future, but like you were saying with the car, and like he pointed out, they had to come up with driver's license and speed limits and seat belts and all the things over the years, so that these vehicles are safe for everyone to drive, right? And that took years.
Yeah.
This AI technology has happened literally in the last, yes, it started years ago. The first chatbot with a computer happened in 1966. Yeah. Okay.
The computer was not intuitive, was not smart.
Couldn't handle So of course, yes, it's developed over it's over the course of the years, but now the things that have unfolded since just 2022, which is when ChatGPT was released. Just 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes. And now with the AI and everything in the last year, the Marquez Brownlee was showing AI video of The Rock just a year ago and how it looked. And then he showed a video now a year later and talking about how they have millions of pictures of people and kids and all of these things that they gather like a database, but it's like people, again, AI technology, there's no rules, people that have access to it. And yes, you don't know really, he showed a video and AI technology that mimicked his voice and you could not tell by looking at the video or listening to the voice. And it literally did it in seconds. That it was not him, that it was the AI technology that was creating the voice, all of it. It's crazy.
I know. And the video that they showed he used it of The Rock, like, what's the guy's name?
Dwayne
The Rock Johnson. Yeah. It almost looked cartoonish. I mean, it definitely had more characteristics of like what a human would look like than it did like cartoons truly did like years ago. But it was definitely more cartoonish. And then when you kind of dial forward a year and you're looking at a video, it's not of The Rock, but it was of these other people. And I'm just like, it looked like real people. Yeah. And so she's asking, are these real people? And he goes, no, these are not real people. Right. These are people that are basically, I don't know if they create the face or create the body. I don't know. They create it all from this massive database that is out there that has all of these pictures and voices and all this stuff. And it's just more, Michelle, than I feel like I can handle.
It's here. Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT, was talking about also the fact that he is in communication with an executive branch of the government every few days.
Right.
So that right there tells you the magnitude and the impacts. And I can't imagine what these conversations are that they're having. And that seemed to be there was this concern that was common really with all the guests that were on there to a certain degree, not so much, the techie guys.
Well, the techie guys seem to have a much different take on things. They're probably pretty excited about the technology and, what the technology is capable of doing. But they also know that it could be very dangerous, I would imagine too. And so there was a gal on there also that was a Pulitzer Prize winning author. She had a completely different take on it.
Right.
Which I felt was it was really interesting to listen to her, because she's talking about how AI is in essence trying to, whether people are intending to do this or not, but trying to replace people in a lot of respects. Now, could it replace humanity? Obviously, I don't feel like technology is going to replace humanity, like our soul, our being, our core, but that's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it is. Which
is just insane.
And there's, I don't want to make it sound like fearful for everything, but there's so many things. And Bill Gates, what he said was, I thought, good, just the way he put it, that there are significant fears about the risk that goes along with AI. Right.
But do they really, when I say they, again, inventors, do they know what all those risks are? They don't.
They don't. But there was another guest on this special, which was the FBI director. And I think some of those risks are what he was talking about with child pornography and pictures and the things that AI can do. That he was talking about I think a child psychologist that had taken pictures, from past and all real people and pictures, and had the ability with AI to, make them naked. And, of course, this person was caught, and there's that. But,
So they don't even need to be real people.
And also he was talking about the circumstance with the teenage boys, where a quote unquote friend of a friend is reaching out to these teenage boys, and it's posing as a girl and sending naked pictures, right? But he was saying it's actually some guy behind a computer in Nigeria using the AI technology, right? Sending what this, this young teenage boy thinks is a pictures of a naked girl, right? And she's asking for pictures back.
Yeah, and he's sending legit pictures, and then he's getting blackmailed.
Yes, and so he sends the pictures back, and then he's getting, they're saying, if you don't pay this, that, and the other, we're going to, tell your parents and do this. It's bad, bad.
Tell him about the woman and her daughter.
And some of these kids are committing suicide as a result. That's a terrible circumstance.
Yeah.
A mother and daughter who the mother got a phone call, and it was her daughter screaming and crying and saying, "I'm sorry." And then a man getting on the phone and saying, "Your daughter interrupted a drug deal. As a result, I'm now don't have $900 or whatever the amount was. And, you need to give me that money or I'm going to kill your daughter." Right? Mom's freaking out. She's driving on the freeway trying to get a hold of her daughter. Her daughter calls her back and what is going on?
I'm at the doctor's office.
I'm at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So there's that too, the ability to, and we've talked about this in past episodes, having all your business out there on social media, videos, your voice, pictures, all the things that people can take this stuff from and do what that circumstance was with the mother-daughter. because they have your voice. They can, the mother literally did not know that it sounded like her daughter because they used AI technology from video and took it from,
So what I got from a lot of this was that what we already know to be things that are kind of out of control, whether it be like and I'm just thinking about how the internet's used for scams and fraud and pornography and, illegal things, the dark web, whatever, all that stuff. That is chump change compared to what we could potentially be seeing, or we won't even necessarily have a grasp of it, but in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to evolve very, very quickly. So it will be a part of our lives, whether we like it or not. And so you start thinking about like this special was broken down into different categories, which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like the job market and education. Think about the education.
And healthcare. Yeah.
Yeah. And healthcare. It's like they were asking, is AI going to replace teachers?
Right.
And Bill Gates was, he kind of stumbled on that one a little bit, but he was like, nothing's ever going to replace the one-on-one attention you're able to get. But in theory, he's talking about how AI is going to be able to determine where a child is in their learning and be able to communicate that to the teacher. And so then the teacher knows what to do next, because the teacher's not going to be spending all their time grading papers and doing things like that. They're going to theoretically be able to free up their time to do other things that are going to be more valuable to the students. But then you think AI, and like I was talking to this young girl, the one that comes over and helps with the dogs, and she's in college, and she was talking about how it's really common for the kids in college to be using AI to help them.
Yep.
But I said, well, how does that work, with plagiarism? Because literally it's like we're almost taking away the need for them to think.
Critical thinking.
Think critically, be able to process things, be able to write, be able to communicate with each other.
This is why God gave us our brains.
Right. Well, we've used our brains to create AI.
And they even talked about, like the future of AI, how, like some of these creators think about AI being smarter than the human.
Right.
And taking off from there.
So what's the takeaway, I guess? First of all, people out there, if you're able to watch this 45-minute episode, please watch it.
It's pretty cool. It just informational, just gives you a lot to think about. And we're already, and Oprah says this, we're already here. It's here.
It's here, yeah.
It's here.
So if you feel behind now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel behind. I feel like I know what I need to know. I deal with all the stuff I need to deal with. But I'm starting to see, like I was telling you before when we were preparing for this, that like with my real estate, like my marketing notes and things.
Yeah.
They actually, it's now built in to the MLS where you're writing out your marketing notes and you only have a certain number of characters and all this kind of stuff that you can do. And then it says, would you like AI Copilot? And so I clicked on it, and it's like, it basically rewrites or enhances what you've already written to make it sound better.
I get that we have to keep up with technology and yes, for business, and you do all that. And I don't want it to seem like I'm living in with my head buried in the sand.
Oh, no.
Because I'm certainly not. But
I think there's going to be a place for everything, but I think we need to be mindful of the fact that if we're not careful, it's going to explode in a way that we don't want.
I just feel like it takes away from who we are.
If we allow it
in
to.
a way.
Yeah.
Yes, if we allow it to. And it's just like there was another gentleman, his name was Asa Raskin.
Oh, the scroll dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
He invented the infinite scroll. Isn't that crazy?
And he's like, wow, I had no idea.
That's what I mean. Yeah. He created that. He invented that before even social media. And the intent behind that invention was so that people could be more efficient, right? Not even with social media. But now look, he was saying it's crazy now when you look back and all of the ramifications that have come of that. And I'm trying to remember the statistic that he gave. I think it was 500,000 lifetimes every single month are wasted on that infinite scroll with social media.
Yep. And he had no idea when he created
500,000 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
Because people are wasting so much time.
Yes. Doom scrolling and the addiction to it. And it's devastating for him when you think about what has come about from that invention. So his point was, with so many things with the AI, yes, how are we going to, as this is rolling out, make sure that, there's things in place to be able to a certain degree, safeguard, regulate, and do the things. But there's always going to be the bad that comes from, the good.
Well, and we have a generation that is born now. Let's say any kids that are born right now, they're never going to know it to be any different, because by the time that they are involved with computers,
that's so weird.
Probably going to be early, maybe 4 or 5 years old, they're going to be AI and everything that corresponds with it is going to be in full swing. They're not going to really know any different. So the stop gaps or the parameters, I think, as parents that need to be put in place or need to be considered now, because most parents don't necessarily have a grasp on what the potential could be. Now, granted, the potential could be pretty amazing. There's a lot of really amazing things that can come from this technology, but there's a lot of things that are not amazing too, potentially. I mean, not that they're all happening, but...
The FBI guy was likening it to, he was saying it's like taking JV criminals and making them varsity.
Yeah.
AI.
And making varsity criminals elite criminals.
Yeah,
because they have more knowledge maybe of what they're doing. But
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so now that I'm terrified, I'm just going to lock myself in my room. No, I'm just kidding. I think everything is something to learn and try to understand, but if you don't, you're probably gonna get left behind, because it's going to be in front of you no matter if you like it or not.
I will have no problem being old-fashioned and left behind. I will leave it up to
unless someone puts a deep fake video of her out there, doing something crazy or Karening somebody or something.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was not me. And it is happening fast, and regulations definitely will be needed. It'll be interesting to watch it all unfold.
So we just wanted to share our thoughts with you on that particular episode that we watched of Oprah's
AI and the Future of Us.
Yes, AI and the Future of Us episode. Yeah. Please get out there and watch it. Just have a look.
Yeah.
Just educate yourself, It's exciting, but there's a lot of things about it that we need to be really careful about.
And I think it's interesting because since watching it, I've been talking to people and sharing some of the things. And it's like stuff we don't think about. They're like, oh my gosh, because we hear about it. We've heard about the deep fake stuff, when Kate was sick, everybody's like, she's dead. That's just AI. There was just like all the things, But then when I start talking about, they can take your voice, pictures, video, make things up that you didn't really even do. You can. It's a lot. It's pretty. It's pretty amazing, and at the same time, insane. So, yeah.
Well, on that insane note,
all right, everybody.
Yeah.
On that insane note,
AI, everybody.
Yeah.
We are so weird.
All right. Until next time, check us out on all the socials, and we will be back.
Yeah. Have a good one, people.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.